In one of my recent videos, I showed you how to make this absolutely fantastic, super comfortable garden chair. However, one of my viewers mentioned that, well, this setup is actually missing something very vital. And he was absolutely right. There's nowhere to put my drink on. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can make very easily, very quickly, your own foldable table. Now you can fully relax in your garden. If you did somehow miss my video from making this awesome chair, don't worry, I will leave a link to that video in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. And if you're watching this on your TV, there's a QR code just over here. You can scan it with your phone and save that video to watch later. But now let's head over to my workshop so you'll see how to build this awesome folding table. There's many designs of folding tables like that. Sometimes they are used as stools as well. You can sit on them. It's a very nice and strong construction. However, in most cases you would need dowels. They look quite good, quite interesting. However, I actually don't have any large dowels. You probably would need at least a 20mm diameter dowel for this to work correctly and have enough strength. So in my case, it's just going to be a very simple version that works just fine, looks absolutely brilliant, but doesn't use any dowels. So first of all, let's cut all the pieces to the right sizes. All the pieces for the frame will be 50mm wide, and the timber I'm using is 20mm in thickness. For the frame itself, in total, we're gonna need 9 pieces. For the top, in our case, we're gonna need 4 pieces that are 500mm long, 2 pieces that are 320mm long, 2 pieces that are 200mm long. For the top itself, well, that really depends on you. You can use a piece of squared up plywood or maybe a glued up panel. In my case, I'm going for slats. We'll sort out the dimensions of them later on. And I would recommend for the size of the top to be around 350mm by 320mm. Right, we've got the main pieces cut to the right sizes, and now what we need to do, in those 4 pieces that are 500mm long, what we need to do is to round off the ends on all the pieces from both sides. In my case, as a reference, I'm actually going to be using this plastic container from drill bits I've got, okay? So I'm just going to trace it on every single end of these 4 boards. How to cut these shapes out depends on what tools you have. In my case, as you can see, I'm using a jigsaw, but you can use a bandsaw, you can even use a fret saw, or to be fair, you can even sand this off. Really depends on what you have. When it comes to the 2 pieces that are 320mm long, what you want to do, you want to have only one edge cut off at the top. Okay, so again, I'm going to use the same plastic container. I'm just going to position that correctly, mark it off, and I'm just cutting one corner on each side on both of the pieces. With the jigsaw action out of the way, we need to actually refine the shape a little bit so it's nice and perfect, not wonky like it is now. In my case, I'm going to be using the Triton sander. However, you can do the same thing on a belt sander or even a normal random orbital sander. Just take your time with the process to make sure you don't take too much material and you get a nice rounded end. If you do want to achieve a perfect match across all the pieces, what I would suggest is to simply grab yourself some painter's tape and tape both of the pieces together, just like so. And then it's a little bit easier to hold both of the pieces together, making sure they're both identical as you sand off the excess from the corners themselves to make them rounded off. And I'm actually going to do the same thing with all 4 of these as well. For the next step, in those longer pieces, we need to find the dead center, and we're going to use, in my case, 6mm drill bit to drill holes in all 4 pieces. It's very important to find an exact center in all those pieces. Okay, so measure up correctly, so we can drill holes in the perfect position for every piece. In the next step, we need to drill some more holes. This time, we're grabbing 2 of the long pieces and 2 of the shorter ones where we cut off the ends like that. This time, we're gonna go 4 centimeters away from the edge of every board, and then make sure it's in the middle of each board. And with the marks in the right places, let's drill those holes. Before we're going to start assembling the base for our folding table, we need to give all the pieces a nice quick sand. At this stage, I'm just going with grit 120. You can also break the harsh edges as you do it. You can use a router, or in my case, I'm actually going to use the random orbiter sander. I'm just going to lightly break all the edges. To put together the base, I'm going to be using bolts of this type. So they've got nice rounded off head and a square just over here, so it prevents it from basically turning around as you install that in a piece of timber. However, I do want to create a bit of a recess for the head of this bolt to go inside of the timber, and basically you could use a force snippet or anything like that. However, I'm just going to use this huge countersink bit to create the recess for the head, and you only do it in the middle 2 pieces that do have 2 holes drilled through. Okay, let's try to put this together to see where we are, if everything came out correctly. So let's put the bolts in first. I'm just gonna check if everything is fine. As you never know with these projects, seems to be good. So let's unfold this, and tell you what, there's something wrong here, as that piece is sticking past that level and we're going to have slats on top. What did I do wrong? Right, so let's quickly check. Oh, 40mm there, and tell you what, there should be 20mm here, and we've got 40 as well. Damn it. So, oh God, what a silly mistake. In the piece that you are drilling 2 holes through, in the middle and at the edge, that edge, it shouldn't be the same value as on this piece, where here we do have 40mm and it should be 40. In here, it should be half, so 20mm, not 40, but 20. And there you go, learn from my mistakes, measure twice or even 3 times, that's for sure. Okay, so I'm just going to drill another hole that's 20mm away from the edge, and well, if I didn't add the heavy countersink, what I would do, I would just plug it with a dowel. However, now the hole is really large, I think about 20mm, and I don't have a dowel that is that big, so I'm going to leave it as is. It's just my household project, it's not going to be sold to anybody, so yeah. There you go. Live and learn. And now everything is as it should be. Okay, so that part needs to be sticking past by about 20mm. Okay, so as you do it up as the legs, well, there you go. This is nice hidden below the level of this support, and that's what we need. Right, so for the next step, what we're gonna need those inner pieces, the longer ones with just 1 hole inside, and the 2 pieces that are 20cm long. So how to position these pieces? Well, the first one, that's gonna go somewhere around here in the middle of those boards. You can screw it and glue it on, that's what I'm gonna do, and later on I'm actually going to use a dowel to hide those spaces after screws. However, the other piece, well, that needs to go in at a certain angle, and that will act as our stopper to make sure our folding table, well, folds up and it stays in place. Now, what angle should it be at? Well, the easiest way is to actually unfold our legs just like so. And then what you do, you grab this piece, and this edge of that board needs to be more or less straight to the base over here. It doesn't matter if it's off by a few millimeters, as it's just a stopper. Where to position this board? Well, more or less it needs to be in the middle, just like that. And in my case, I'm going to have it about 5 centimeters away from the edge over here. Now, the easiest way to actually get this started is to use a bit of CA, apart from the wood glue as well. In my case, as this is an outdoor project, I'm going to use Titebond 3 as the wood glue, as it's water resistant. Now, the CA will just speed up with the initial bond of the first piece, and then we'll clamp everything together and drive in some screws. First of all, a bit of wood glue, and then some CA. Then align it with your marks on the main piece of timber. And in my case, I'm going to add some weight on top and leave it for a few seconds. And I'm going to do the exact same thing with the other piece that needs to be on a slight angle. Now it's time to add the other piece. And again, a bit of wood glue and some CA. And now I'm simply gonna clamp it up. With this setup, I actually don't have to wait for the glue to set. I can drill some pilot holes, do a bit of countersink, and drive in the screws. To make sure you drill the holes in the right places, especially with this angled piece, just measure it up. I've used a speed square to do that, quite easily done, and it does save you some mistakes. I don't want these screws to be visible at all, therefore I'm going to cut a piece of dowel and glue them in place in every single hole. So let's plug these in, bit of wood glue and then the wooden plug. And I'm just going to use the blue masking tape as a bit of a clamping force here to hold these in place as the wood glue dries. As the plugs are drying, it's now time to sort out the pieces for the top of our table. In my case, I'm gonna have 6 pieces that are 35 centimeters long and about 4.5 centimeters wide. With the pieces cut, let's give them a quick sand with grit 120, and then I'm gonna use a tiny round over bit on my router to round over all the harsh edges on the pieces that we just cut. Alright, now it's time to clean up those dowels. I'm gonna cut off the excess and just sand it flush. Okay, let's start putting everything together. First of all, we're gonna bury these bolts a little bit deeper. What are we gonna need to actually put everything together? Well, some washers and some nuts as well. So first of all, the washer goes on. Then we'll put that through. And the nut at the end. Same thing on the other parts. Washer goes on first, then our piece, and the nut itself. Now it's time to install the top, i.e. the slats themselves. So I've did cut some spaces like this to make sure my spacing is exactly the same across the whole length. So everything looks nice and equal. And I'm just going to use this low profile clamp to keep everything in place as I will be putting this together. Now in situations like these, a MFD style tabletop definitely does help out. Okay, everything's nicely squared up. To put everything together, I'm just going to be using a bit of wood glue and some screws. Okay then, now it's time for the final piece of the puzzle. In my case it's 180 millimeters, 2.5 centimeters wide. What we do need is to have some sort of a stop block system. So again, I'm going to use a bit of wood glue. I'm going to drive in some screws to hold it in place. Nice, simple project, easy to make if you obviously don't do some silly mistakes like I did. But overall, yeah, very handy thing to have around your garden. But actually, this is strong enough to work as a stool as well, if you need some extra seating space. And as you know, I'm not the thinnest and the lightest of people, and if this is holding my weight, I think it will do absolutely fine. However, there is one more step that we need to do, mainly give this a bit of finish. In my case, it's an outdoor furniture, so it needs to be really well sealed. In your case, you can use varnish, you can use oils, anything you want. For me, it's going to be a proper wood sealer that will withstand, hopefully, outside conditions. So in total, I'm probably going to apply about 2 coats with denibbing in between coats. And there you have it. This is a perfect combo, nice and comfortable chair, and a side table as well for your drinks and maybe some snacks, so you can enjoy the beautiful summer weather. Cheers. Now, I hope you enjoyed today's video, that this little fun project, maybe it brought you some inspiration for your own project, maybe even for this weekend. At this point, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to my Patreons for the ongoing support. And before you go, check out these 2 cool playlists, plenty of fantastic videos waiting for you there. However, for today, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.